If someone had told me that, at 77 years old, I would spend 2 months in a nursing home, I would have dismissed it with a laugh. That wasn't supposed to happen. Not yet, at least. But life has a way of humbling us, often when we least expect it. What I assumed would be a short, temporary stay for recovery turned into an experience that changed me forever. In those 2 months, my perspective on aging, regrets, and life itself shifted in ways I never imagined. Some realizations were painful, others enlightening, but all were necessary. I met people who had been there for years. Some had family who still visited, others had been forgotten. Some had made peace with their reality, while others carried an unbearable weight of regret. Through quiet conversations and countless nights of reflection, I came to understand 7 profound lessons. Lessons that I believe everyone, no matter their age, should hear. Because whether you're young today or not, time does not pause for anyone. One day, you will find yourself at this stage of life. And when that moment arrives, what kind of story will you have written? Before we dive into the first lesson, take a moment to think about this. What kind of life do you want to look back on? If these lessons resonate with you, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Let's make the most of the time we have, starting today. Lesson 1. Loneliness is the greatest illness. A nursing home isn't just about medical care, meals, or a safe place to sleep. What I learned is that the real struggle is not physical, it's emotional. It's the deep, aching loneliness that lingers in the air. I met people who hadn't had a single visitor in months. Some, in years. Their children were too preoccupied with their own lives. Their old friends had either passed away or drifted apart. No matter how kind and attentive the staff was, nothing could replace the presence of family. The most painful part of growing old is realizing that the world keeps moving forward, while you are left behind. Loneliness, I discovered, is the heaviest burden of old age. And it is not just about being alone, it's about feeling forgotten. Lesson 2. Health is more valuable than wealth. If I could turn back time, I would have focused more on the relationships that truly mattered. I would have spent less time chasing financial success and more time nurturing meaningful connections. Because when you reach a place like this, you realize money cannot replace companionship. In my time at the nursing home, I met a man who had once been at the peak of success. He owned multiple businesses, traveled the world, and lived in luxury. But now, none of that mattered. His body had betrayed him. He could no longer eat without assistance. Walking was impossible. The wealth he had spent a lifetime accumulating held no value in a place where his own body refused to cooperate. No matter how rich you are, you cannot buy back your health. If I had understood this sooner, I would have treated my body with more care. I would have moved more, eaten better, and worried less. Because in the end, what is wealth if you don't have the strength to enjoy it? Lesson 3. Material things lose their meaning. Once, I lived in a house filled with possessions, beautiful furniture, elegant clothing, shelves lined with decorations collected over decades. I thought they mattered. But today, I live in a single room with only a handful of belongings. And do you know what? I don't miss any of it. The objects we spend a lifetime accumulating eventually lose their significance. The furniture, the clothes, the trinkets, they become nothing more than things. What remains? The moments we cherished and the people we shared them with. If I could go back, I would have spent more time creating memories instead of collecting objects. Lesson 4. Independence is precious. Imagine spending your whole life making your own decisions, taking care of yourself, coming and going as you please. Then, suddenly, everything changes. You need help with the simplest of tasks, getting dressed, eating, even using the bathroom. For many here, that is the reality. The freedom they once had is now just a memory. If you can still move without assistance, if you can think clearly and make your own choices, cherish it. Independence is a gift that we often take for granted, until the day we realize it is slipping away. Lesson 5. True happiness comes from simple things. Never take your independence for granted, because the moment you lose it, you will realize it was one of the greatest gifts life ever gave you. I met a woman in the nursing home, 85 years old, always smiling. No matter the day, no matter her circumstances, she radiated joy. One afternoon, curiosity got the best of me, and I asked her, "What's your secret to happiness?" She smiled and said, "I don't dwell on what I've lost. I focus on what I still have." That simple sentence held a truth that many spend a lifetime searching for. Happiness isn't found in wealth, achievements, or grand experiences. It lives in the smallest moments. A heartfelt conversation, the warmth of a cup of tea, the golden touch of sunlight on your face. The world teaches us to chase happiness, to run after it as if it's always just out of reach. But in reality, it was always right there, in the simple things we overlooked. Lesson 6. Forgiveness brings peace. During my time in the nursing home, I saw many people weighed down by the past. They carried grudges like heavy stones, resentments towards their children, old friends, even long-gone spouses. And I noticed something. Those who refused to let go of their bitterness were the ones who suffered the most. It wasn't their so-called enemies who remained trapped in pain. It was them. One evening, a woman confided in me, her voice trembling with regret. "I wish I had forgiven my sister while she was still alive. Now, it's too late." Her words stayed with me, repeating in my mind long after she had spoken them. That night, I understood something deeply. A heavy heart only burdens the one who carries it. So, I made a choice. I forgave, not because they deserved it, but because I deserved peace. I let go of old wounds, of words that could never be undone, of regrets that no longer had a place in my future. Because in the end, holding on to resentment does nothing but steal our time, our joy, and our final years of peace. And then, something incredible happened. I felt lighter, free, as if I had been carrying a weight in my heart for decades and had finally set it down. If there is someone in your life whom you need to forgive, do it now. Not for them, but for yourself. Because when life reaches its final chapter, peace is worth far more than pride. And when that moment comes, the last thing you want is to whisper to yourself, "I wish I had let go sooner." Lesson 7. Every day is a gift. Don't waste it. One morning in the nursing home, I woke up to hear that one of the residents had passed away in his sleep. The night before, he had been laughing with us at dinner, reminiscing about his childhood, sharing stories of a full and well-lived life. And then, just like that, he was gone. Something inside me shifted that day. I realized how fragile life truly is. No matter how careful we are, no matter how healthy, how strong, tomorrow is never guaranteed. Yet, we waste so much time on things that don't matter. We worry about problems that never come to pass. We dwell on regrets we can never undo. We hold on to grudges. We push aside the things that bring us joy. We convince ourselves, "One day, I'll do this. One day, I'll say that." But that one day never comes, until suddenly it's too late. The greatest lesson I learned? Live while you still can. Don't wait for the perfect time to enjoy life. It doesn't exist. The perfect time is right now. Tell the people you love what they mean to you. Do the things that bring you happiness. Make the memories that will outlast everything else. Because at the end of it all, when time runs out, only one question remains. Did you truly live? Appreciate every sunrise as if it were your last. Find reasons to laugh whenever you can. Because when your time finally comes, you won't regret the things you did. You'll regret the moments you let slip away. Every single day is a gift. Don't waste it. Spending 2 months in a nursing home may not seem like much, but it was enough to change me forever. Enough to show me that life is not measured by the number of years we live, but by the moments that truly matter. And those moments are shaped by the choices we make every single day. I met people in that nursing home who had no regrets. They had loved deeply, lived fully, and were at peace with the life they had built. Others, however, spent their days wishing they had done things differently. More than anything, I learned this. Aging is not about how much time you have left. It's about how you spend the time you still have. I no longer fear getting older, but I do fear wasting time. If you're watching this, no matter your age, please remember this. Don't wait until it's too late to appreciate your health, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. Because one day, you will sit in a quiet room, surrounded only by memories. And in that moment, you will wish you had made more of them. Life is short. Live with meaning. Love without hesitation. And above all, never take a single day for granted. Life is fleeting, and time moves faster than we realize. But the beautiful thing is, we still have today. We still have the chance to make choices that matter, to build connections that last, and to create memories that will outlive us. So, I'll leave you with this question. When your final days come, what kind of life will you look back on? One filled with regrets, or one overflowing with moments that truly mattered? If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What is one change you want to make starting today? And if you found value in these lessons, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because no one should have to learn these lessons too late. Thank you for being here. Now, go live your life the way it was meant to be lived.